Yo, what's up, guys? So, with the season having ended a few weeks ago, and in the middle of all the excitement for the Euros and the Copa America, with obviously with some players playing in both tournaments, I feel like today's a good day to go through the starting lineup for Real Madrid next season. Yo, it's gonna be a good ass season to be a Madrid fan, yo. Like honestly, anything besides a double in either way, it's gonna be kind of hard to take considering everyone that we have and the position that our rivals are in. Atletico's not looking. It's not they're looking bad. They're just definitely not as good as they were a few seasons ago. And Barcelona, with everything that they got going on, bro, like we gotta take something home. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, so let's go on to the starting lineup. At goal, I don't think it's gonna be a surprise that anybody is gonna be Thibaut Courtois. You're hard pressed to tell me more than a few players who would even be in competition for that title. You got Ter Stegen, you got Oblak, right? That's basically it aside from the Premier League, and in which you got Allison and Ederson. I can't really think of anybody right now, right? Like Neuer, he's definitely not at his prime right now. You cannot tell me Neuer's a better goalkeeper than Ter Stegen. At that point for Germany, he's just starting because of who he is and the legacy that he has, which is great. It's an amazing legacy, but I don't know what they're still doing starting him. On the right back, we got Carvajal. He's getting older, but yo, he definitely came off of one of his best seasons in general. Not just of the past recent years. He was everywhere on the pitch. Every time that he was healthy, he played. He made an impact, and when he was not in the team, we struggled. Like we felt that shit heavy. It was not a good time he was not on the team. Uh, Central defenders are gonna be the first one's Antonio Rudiger, our boy Tony. He did not have the best starting season, a debut season last year. But I mean, to be fair, the competition was Eder Militao, who by the end of the last season was considered one of the best defenders in the world. Not just by me, but by a lot of people. And David Alaba, who, again, you know, not just his record, but his performances speak for themselves. So it's no shame. But this season, with all the injuries that we had, the ACLs to both Alaba and Militao, he came up and he stepped up, man. He very rarely put a foot off place. He was everywhere. He was covering people, like it was like bro, he was their fucking shadow. It's crazy. Um, Next one's gonna be Militao. I think Alaba's gonna be left on the bench starting at least at the beginning of the season, depending on how both of these players perform. But Militao is gonna be an undoubted starter. Um, even coming back from his ACL injury, I don't think it's gonna be enough to sit him on the bench. At least not from the start of the season. Later on, we'll see how that duel bears, and maybe he'll come into that spot. But unfortunately, I don't see Alaba starting this next season. On the left back is going to be Mendy. Mendy, even to this day, man, I don't know if it's just me, but he doesn't have my overall trust. You know what I mean? Like if he's on the starting lineup, I'm like, all right, Mendy's there. But it's always like I don't know what it is about him, man. He's never convinced me, and everyone's gonna try to say, all right, well, he cleared the ball line, and in the Champions League against Man City, in that fucking amazing magical run in 2022. But he's a defender. Yeah, that's what he's supposed to do, and I'm not gonna let one good instance that he did, which is remarkable. Like it was an amazing clearance, but it's not gonna cloud my judgment all the way, and I'm not convinced with him. Um, I'm just not. So the alternative would be to start Alaba in that position, but I don't think Alaba gives us that attacking threat that we need from our left back, especially the way the Madrid has always played. So I see him starting. Obviously, the rumor mill is that we're gonna get Alfonso Davis, and if that's the case, straight up the bench. Um, Midfield, someone's gonna have to be sacrificed in the midfield, guys. We have way too much talent in the midfield, and at that age where they, at that point they want to get more starting roles. So it's someone's gonna have to be sacrificed. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna be Chouameni. So he's gonna be starting. Coming off the bench, and Camavinga's gonna be playing deep mid. Man, he's since he came in, man, he was what 19, 18 when we got him, and he's just been like nonstop, bro. Like on the field with his displays, his maturity, and it's also the way that he represents the crest and the badge. Like I never have to worry about Kamavinga going on the field and just giving it less than 100%. Yes, he might not have a good game. Not everybody can have good games every single day. It's understandable, but he'll always give it his all. The first midfielder, baby, is gonna be Bellingham. You already fucking know. He came in, he took over La Liga in debut season for Real Madrid, the biggest team in the world. Not everybody could do that. Like, there's been people who come over and struggle. Like, it's Bale came in, he kicked ass at the start. Ronaldo came in, he kicked ass at the start. But a lot of other people struggled their first season in Madrid, and especially with that kind of expectations, getting the legendary number 5 from Zidane. And obviously other people have worn it in the past, but that's considering his position. Like Varane wore it at one point. He's a defender. He just needed the number at that point because of the way that the system works in Spain. But that he is gonna be Zidane's heir. He is. He's not. He's never gonna reach that height. I don't think so. He could always prove us wrong, but it's looking good for him, man. Everything he did was amazing. And the other one, come on, man. That's our future fucking captain right there, bro. Like it can't be nobody else. His worth ethic is ridiculous. He represents Real Madrid to the core. He never gives up. He celebrates everything that he does. Goals, clearances, getting back, falling back to cover up the defense. He does everything on the field. And man, I cannot say more positive things about Fede Valverde. On the right attack, I think it's gonna be Rodrigo. I do think the starting lineup up three, I might as well. It's gonna be Vinny, Mbappe, and Rodrigo. There's really no argument for them. On the wings, they're gonna be unstoppable. As a striker, Mbappe's gonna be unstoppable. A lot of people are gonna say that Vinny's gonna move to the right, and listen, I do not think it will ever be Mbappe's team. I always think it will be Vinny's team. It's gonna be similar to like a KD to the Warriors situation. KD was the best player, but it was never his team. Like it was Steph's team. It always was, and it always will be at that point. So I think it's gonna be a similar situation to that. Mbappe is gonna be the best player in the team, but it's gonna be Vinny's team at the end of the day. Like if you have to and I think even after 10 years, you're gonna ask people, they're gonna say, all right, no, I'll take Vinny. So, but with that being said, like I said, Mbappe is the best player. So he is going to have to adapt. Even if he prefers playing a left wing, since he's the better player, he's going to have to be the one to adapt to just that striker role. And I believe Vinny's going to keep his spot on the left. So I believe that's going to be the starting lineup next season, guys. It's going to be a solid starting lineup. I don't really see much changes to the formation. Obviously, this past season, we played a different formation out of necessity. We didn't really have solid number 9. Now that we do, I do think Ancelotti's going to go back to his traditional 4-3-3 formation. I love him to death, but he's shown in the past he can be a little stubborn, so I think he's going to go back to it. Now, with that being said, as a diehard Madrid fan, we all have our little fantasy, so I think I'll throw out my little twist at a starting 11, what I think would be ideal for everybody, right? So, listen, I don't think it'll ever happen, but in this situation, I'm giving us a back three, right? At that point, Alaba also gets to start. So we have Alaba, Militao, and Rudiger on the back line, right? Midfielder, at that point, we would keep Chouameni. Unfortunately, that means we would have to get rid of Carvajal. Listen, man, I love him to death, but damn, man, I can't. Like, if you've seen Madrid for at the very least the past 10 years since they won La Decima, he's an amazing player, but he's always had some kind of injury troubles, here and there, and it's not even big things every once in a while. It's little things that just keep him out for a small amount of time, and at that point, I think we could get something back for him at this point. So I think it's a perfect time to get rid of him, celebrate him for one last season, give him that what's it called. Whatever it's called, give him that last tour, that farewell tour, because he deserves it. But at that point he'd be out. At that point, though, we could keep Chouameni. He played center mid with Camavinga to the left and Valverde to the right. Now, at that point, Camavinga, he's a fucking machine everywhere. I feel like that'd be a perfect spot for him to both help on offense and go back and do his thing on defense, which we all know he could do exceptionally well, especially from the left side. Valverde, that we talked about, he's a fucking horse when he's down the field. He never runs out of energy, bro. This kid, like, you see him run, like, for, like, a whole 89, like, run, bro, run, like, haul ass, not like, like, dip, straight out dip. And then you need someone to make that last run, it's him. all the fucking time. I think his energy would be good there, and he could also come back and help out on defense. It's something he does already, so it just be a little bit more formal. At that point, I think Rodrigo would drop to being kind of in a floating position. I don't think he'd stay there, But at that point, we could have Bellingham and Rodrigo right above him, posing that threat on the attack. But Rodrigo's also good at coming back and playing D. A lot of people would disagree with that. Out of him and Vinny, I definitely see him coming back and running the most. Um, but I think it'll be a good position for him, and that way we could keep the core generation of talent without losing anybody. And at the front, man, Vinny and Mbappe. Not really much to say about that like last time. We all know how good they are. We all know how they could just break defenses by themselves. We all know the skill that each one of them has. Each one of them has a skill to just drive by and just leave you on the ground dying, begging for sweet relief of death. But you know what I mean? Like, it happens. But yeah, guys, so that would be my ideal 11. I know it's crazy, man, but it'd be amazing. At that point, we'd be able to rotate everybody else, like Guler. Kid's 19. He's going to be amazing in the future. But it's hard, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be hard. No matter what, in the next few years, we're going to be losing somebody or a few people that have exceptional skill. It's just it's not doable to have this type of stacked team at all times. It fucking sucks, and it's crazy to say that shit because I'm saying like it's a huge problem, but it's a great problem to have, man. I'm telling you, it's great. It's great, and the reason why I could be so happy, being a Madrid fan, is because being a Madrid fan since I was young, but growing up through that golden generation of Barcelona, all you heard was the shit talking from Barcelona fans. That's all you heard, bro. That's all you heard. So now we're back on top, and we ain't moving. People are gonna have their time to shine because it's impossible to win every single time. But yo, for the next 10 years, watch out, baby, and it's gonna be fucking amazing. But yeah, guys. So that's it for the video. If you disagree on anything, if I fucked up big on something that you disagree on, drop a comment. What would be your starting 11? What would be your fantasy starting 11? Who would you bring in to alter that starting 11? Anything that we could have a cool discussion. That's what it's all about. All right, catch you on the next one, guys.